Thank you. Welcome all. So nice to see so many people with us today. We're looking to present the National Park Series Part 1, Grand Canyon, Bryce, and Zion National Park. Really excited today to be discussing some really interesting train routes with you, with Amtrak, and also some really great national parks. That's Grand Canyon, Bryce, Zion National Park. A lot of these national parks are in southern Utah. Grand Canyon, of course, in Arizona. We're looking at the California Zephyr train route from Chicago through to San Francisco, the Coast Starlight route from San Francisco down to Los Angeles mainly, and also the Southwest Chief, which connects Chicago through to Los Angeles. Now, for the train routes going cross country there, that's 2 nights, 3 days on the train. Really scenic when you get to certain parts. You know, you really want to be traveling by train through states like New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, California. You're just glued to the window looking at all the scenery and the trips that we're going to be going over, and the routes has a lot to offer as far as sceneries are concerned. Now, I'm your host. My name is Ben Paquet. I'm a senior sales travel consultant with Amtrak Vacations. I've been here for over 2 years. I've worked in the travel industry for over 5. I'm from a mixed background. I'm French American. I was born in France, lovely country. We got great trains there over 2. And I've also lived in the UK. I've also lived in Austria. I lived in Canada, and I've made my niche in the travel industry ever since I've been back in the US 7 years ago, and really settled in working with Amtrak Vacations, discussing train options, trips to national parks, city getaways. Now, before we get started, there's some handouts there to maybe download, and we are in the middle of a flash sale right now where on our rail vacation packages that include rail, hotel, and sightseeing, there's some savings to be had with the sleepers. So it's saving a $300 off per couple off the bedrooms and $200 off per couple off of the roomettes. So don't hesitate to give one of our expert travel consultants a call today so that they can put together your package and max out on your savings. It's 1-800-268-7252. We're open Monday through to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a whole team of us here that are expert in traveling by train in North America, whether it be in the US or in Canada with Via Rail in Canada. Now, my favorite slide of them all, this is the Amtrak Vacation Systems Network map. This is all the train routes here in the US and also some of the train routes out in Canada, the Via Rail there, cross country. So what do we notice here? The whole Amtrak network is kind of centered, focused on Chicago, and a lot of those train routes are stemming from Chicago, going cross country, east-west. So Chicago is really the main hub. And then there's a lot of different dots here along the way. Those are places where we offer vacation packages with hotel night stays and tours. And the opportunities are not endless, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of options to go through, a lot of different levels of accommodation on the train, a lot of different schedules, routes to take. Now, with Amtrak, I would say certain train routes people travel, it's a means to get from point to point. And at other times, it's a really scenic train ride. And we can go over that with you regarding those parts where you're glued to the window, just looking at all the scenery that we're so lucky to have here in the US. Now, what makes Amtrak Vacations different? Well, we surveyed a lot of travelers. These are people that do cruises, river cruises, ocean cruises, small group escorted tour. For a lot of people, taking a rail vacation package is a bucket list experience. A lot of people want to go cross-country Canada, cross-country US, and see all the beauty that's here at our doorstep in North America. So it's definitely a bucket list experience. It's also, with Amtrak Vacations, we're expert in what we do. So we offer you, the freedom and flexibility to kind of put together package. You can do packages back to back. We'll go over that in just a few minutes. And we can always go with you what those options are. And it's really hassle-free because we're like a one-stop shop. We got you covered for the rail, we got you covered for the hotels and the tours. There's some little out-of-pocket expenses that we can go with you that's specific to different destinations, but we try to make it all inclusive as possible and hassle-free as possible. Now, we're also the official tour operator for Amtrak. So we're so lucky to be designated that way and to really, piggyback off of the Amtrak infrastructure there with their service and their rates. Um, Now, we also offer city-to-city service, traveling by rail. What's beautiful about it is you're not having to commute outside of cities to airports to get you to your destination. Most of these train stations, for the most part, are right in the heart of the cities, right in the downtown areas. So when you're traveling from one destination to the other, you're going from one downtown to the other downtown. So you're right where you want to be without having to worry too much about commuting. So city-to-city service, that's definitely important one there too. And we have something for everybody. So, whether old or young, whatever demographic you fall under, whatever size group you are, whether it's a family or a group of friends, there's something for everybody here. Different destinations have different appeals, the different types of people. We also like to tap into like seasonal type of trips with like, cherry blossom trips out in Washington, D.C. or fall foliage trips out in New England. So there's really a mixed bag of rail vacation packages that we offer. Why not consider us too for like pre and post cruise packages, out of Boston, out of Seattle. We do a lot of those too, where you can mix it up into like a rail and sail type of package. We also do offer rail and sail packages with Norwegian. So yeah, this is what makes traveling with Amtrak Vacations really different. Now let's discuss quickly a bit about the level of customization that we offer. Most of you probably have our catalogs. Some of you maybe are looking at the website. Those are just base packages. These are base packages that are pre-made so that we can like price it out to you in a timely manner. We can, customize things bespoke for you too. We can do trips back to back. Here, for example, we have two really popular trips, especially for the summer months, Glacier National Park Express that looks into doing that Empire Builder route, the northern route with Amtrak, all the way through to Seattle with a couple nights stay at Glacier. Why not tag along Seattle, Vancouver, and Victoria by rail package to it too, and do an extended trip where you get to see a bit further afield, places that you want to do. You let us know, and we can kind of put it all together for you. Now, we also can add, additional nights at various locations, availability permitting. Here, for instance, we have the Grand Canyon, Rails to the Grand Canyon package, definitely one of the best-selling trips here. Grand Canyon and Glacier, I would say, are by far the two most popular destinations that we cover. So the Rails to the Grand Canyon has the rail starting from Los Angeles in the Southwest Chief, doing the overnight train through to Flagstaff, Arizona. And then you have that whole experience on the antique train, the Grand Canyon Railway through to the South Rim. Why not consider the base package has 2 nights at the South Rim? Why not consider adding more time, availability permitting always, so that you can do everything that it is that you want to do in the area. There's the whole Arizona is full of like geological wonders, national parks, hot springs, canyons, places to go and discover, painted desert. There's a lot of opportunities, so why not extend your time at somewhere great like the South Rim with a couple extra nights stay here, where we have, for example, the El Tovar. The El Tovar is one of these top-notch, luxurious properties that's view onto the canyon right at the rim itself. For that property, you really want to book far out ahead of time because it sells out pretty quick. But then upon your return back to Los Angeles, why not add the Los Angeles getaway? Do a couple nights in downtown LA. LA has got a lot to offer between Santa Monica, Hollywood, or further afield, go down to San Diego. We can put these packages, add the amount of nights, reduce the amount of nights, make things back to back. You just let us know what you're thinking, and we'll go to the drawing board and try to piece it all together for you. Now, one of the major questions that we get, even before trips are booked, are about packing requirements. Now, the allowance with Amtrak is ample. It's huge. You're not going to want to max out on this because it's a lot. You want to travel light, I would say, for most of our trips, um, within reason. So there's a distinction to be made between carry-on luggage and check-in luggage. Carry-on luggage is the luggage that you can bring with you, have access on while you're on the train with Amtrak. So you have two personal items, two carry-on items, 50 pounds each, that have to stick within certain linear inches and fit in the overhead compartments. And then you also can bring check-in luggage. The check-in luggage that you can't access until you reach your final destination, well, it's two luggage for free for 50 pounds each that have to stick within certain linear inches too. But if you want to bring more than that, you can at a fee. It's just like $20 per bag more. So yeah, it's not expensive to travel and to pack on these trips. But yeah, I never see a need to max out on that allowance. It's really ample. Let me ask you all, if everybody's all on board with Amtrak Vacations, let's discuss a bit further some of these packages that we have on these routes in Colorado, southern Utah, or Wyoming for Yellowstone, Arizona, and New Mexico there. Here, the slide kind of gives you a little foretaste of what life on board Amtrak is all about. On the top left-hand corner there, we have like an example of a cafe car and the Superliner trains. So, social area where people can meet up, have a bite to eat, coffee, and socialize, mingle with other people. I would describe the experience of traveling by train as a really unique way to travel. You get to, it's very social. You meet people, you find out where they're coming from, where they're traveling to, you hear their stories. So it's a really social experience. And you can't be in a rush to get anywhere. And certain train routes are just really scenic. So you're just in awe at the window when you cross certain sceneries. Like there's nothing like seeing a sunrise or a sunset in the desert or along the coast. Some of these train routes offer that. It's a great experience. Now, below the first slide there on the bottom left-hand side, you have the overhead locker compartment that you can fit your carry-on luggage on these Superliner trains. To the right of that, there's a picture of one of the Superliner bedrooms. So this is the bigger sleeper with the restroom and shower within the private compartment. This is what you're looking at on these Superliner trains, a nice comfortable bench and a seat facing one another, full frame picture window. You do the sleepers on board Amtrak, whether it's roomette or bedroom, meals are included part of the train ride. The food is really good. So this is an example of the bedroom. Like when you're sleeping, they draw down the beds, your feet are kind of facing the window or your head's facing the window. If you do the roomettes, it's to your side. So this is what it's a bit like to travel on board Amtrak on these routes. So let's look at a number one most popular destination, number one most popular trip, which is the Grand Canyon Getaway round trip from Chicago. Now, Grand Canyon, you're looking at doing one overnight on the train per way between Chicago and Arizona on the Southwest Chief. When you leave, the train leaves mid-afternoon. You're excited to be on the train. You pull out of Chicago. You're heading the Midwest. It's just a fun experience. You're getting acquainted to what it's like to be on board an Amtrak train. And then from the moment that you wake up, you're going to be in going through Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona for the day. And you're just really, drawn to the window looking at all the scenery, the snow-capped mountains, the deserts. It's a really neat train ride at parts. Now, when you get through to, the train goes as far as Flagstaff, and upon arrival of the train into Flagstaff, in the evening, there'll be a shuttle transfer from Flagstaff, quick transfer, half an hour, through to the Grand Canyon Railway Depot. Now, part of the draw with the Grand Canyon, the experience, is that there's an antique train, not provided by Amtrak, but by the Grand Canyon National Park, that you take the next day to get you through to the South Rim. Now, this antique train, it's a 2-hour and 15-minute train ride. You're going through like the desert, this Ponderosa Forest to the South Rim, and they like to do a little song and dance for you before you board that train. They do a little reenactment of the OK Corral, and when you're on the train, they do a reenactment of a train robbery. And then you get to the rim itself, and you have like a tour to visit the more popular views, perspectives into the canyon with a motor coach and a guide. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. And then we have you at properties right at the South Rim, like the Maswich Lodge, El Tovar. Maswich Lodge, you're 100 feet away from the rim itself. You don't have far to take in all the views. It's really an amazing experience. Any one of these national parks, it always has like a similar type of feeling. You know, you're just in awe, and it's a once in a lifetime type of experience to witness them all, see all the beauty that we're blessed to have here in the U.S. out west. Um, so then you have a little 24-hour window. Now we can definitely customize, as I was saying earlier, more time at the South Rim. The base package just has one night at the South Rim. You take the train after X amount of nights the following day back to Williams, Arizona. You have to do one more night in Williams, Arizona, and then you can board the Southwest Chief train back through to Chicago. So the base pack, minimum amount of time that it takes to do this package would be 5 nights, 6 days. But we could always look into increasing more time at the South Rim if you wanted to, or even Williams if that appeals to you. But this is our #1 package. Go visit, you know, the #1 national park here in the U.S., Grand Canyon, you know, one of the majors with Yellowstone, Yosemite, Glacier, and many, many, many more. So we're looking, you know, 3 nights at hotels minimum, 2 overnights on the train, 2 meals included, round trip in coach or upgrade to sleepers on the Southwest Chief. Now, the second trip I would like to talk about is Grand Canyon to Yosemite. Why do one national park? Why not bundle a couple together, string them all on a train route, scenic train route from one park to the other? So here we start with the same base package for the Grand Canyon, 1 night in Williams. Here we have 2 nights out at the South Rim, the same song and dance, the same antique train ride through to the South Rim. And then we have the train ride from Williams, Arizona, to Flagstaff to Los Angeles. It's an overnight train, so you have the experience of sleeping on board the train. And when you wake up early in the morning, you're there in Los Angeles, and you can transition with the Coast Starlight train. Now, the Coast Starlight train, so you can do this on the same day. If you wanted to, we could add a night hotel in LA if you wanted to go to LA or Anaheim to go to Disney. But you take that train, the Coast Starlight, from Los Angeles up to San Francisco. It's a long day on the train. It's during the daytime. It's definitely one of the more scenic train routes here in the U.S. because the train hugs the coastline. See the ocean on one side of the train, all the coastal towns on the other. It's a really scenic train ride, tying 2 national parks together. Now it goes all the way through to Oakland or Emeryville, the train, which is on the other side of the bay from San Francisco. And then there's a quick shuttle transfer down to various locations in San Francisco. The train literally just goes over a bridge and you're right in downtown San Francisco. Recommend staying in Fisherman's Wharf or Union Square area. And package comes with 3 nights with a full day trip to Yosemite National Park. Now, I did this trip 2 years ago, and what an amazing ride to Yosemite, and it's amazing to be at Yosemite full stop. So the bus will pick you up early morning. You pick up the bus, you go over the bridge, you go on the other side of the bay. You're going through the San Joaquin Valley, which is the agricultural center of California there. A lot of cypress tree. It's kind of always immersed in the fog because there's a difference in air temperature between the ocean and the Sierra Nevadas there. And then you're going through some passes up in the mountains, up in the Sierra Nevada to get to Yosemite through the old gold mining 49er country, which is really neat to see. And then once you get to the national park, you know, nestled in the valley there, you can see the Half Dome from a distance, the El Capitan, which is that huge wall that some people dare to free climb. And there's upper and lower falls too. And that's the Ahwahnee Valley. So it's a really nice experience getting through to Yosemite. And then on that full day trip, you have time to ponder around, visit around the visitor center. You're really close by to Yosemite Falls. You can walk up so that you're like maybe 50 feet away, taking the views. What a beautiful place to see. And what really fascinated me is also the whole American Indian, Native American heritage of these national parks. These places were really their land before it became National Park Services. So it's really interesting to see that heritage when you go to these national parks. So this is the Grand Canyon to Yosemite. We're talking about an 8-day, 7-night trip, really scenic train ride, especially from Los Angeles up to San Francisco when it's during the day. You can take in all the views, and what two awesome national parks to tie in together there. So that's a great one. Now let's go for more national parks all in one trip. So this is the Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. So we're mixing up rail experience and some really scenic train routes. Once again, California Zephyr, Southwest Chief, Coast Starlight train routes, and a trifecta of national parks here. So we're talking about Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon. Now there's different variants of these Grand National Parks trip. Others that also include glacier. So you could do Glacier, Yosemite, Yellowstone. You could do Glacier, Yosemite, or Grand Canyon, or this one, Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon. And you're basically looking at a 2-week-long trip, mixing up those cross-country train routes and some really awesome, awe-inspiring national parks. So this one originates in Chicago. You do the overnight train through to Denver. You wake up here, the train's in Denver. The train's not going to be going 70 miles per hour anymore. It's going to be going 30 miles while it goes up some passes up through the Colorado Rockies. There's a ton of wildlife to see. Your dream homes perched on top of the Rockies. You're glued to the window from the moment that you wake up to when you arrive into Salt Lake at 11 o'clock at night, looking at the Colorado Rockies, the canyonlands of Utah, and you're getting to the very affluent, very prosperous Salt Lake City late at night. Because of the late arrival, you do one night in a hotel in Salt Lake City, and then there's a day transfer up to Yellowstone, which is up in Wyoming. Amtrak doesn't actually go to Wyoming. That's why it's a motor coach transfer up there. And that motor coach will take you a nice scenic route through Idaho to Yellowstone. Yellowstone is definitely one of the bigger national parks. It's a bit like the Grand Canyon. You can't really do it all in a day. Why not consider adding more time? And if you add more time in Yellowstone, there's different tours that cover different areas of the park, the upper loop, the lower loop. Go and see the mud volcanoes, Hayden Valley, hot springs, a lot of places of amazing geological wonders. So definitely consider adding more time in Yellowstone if you want to see it through and through. And then we have the transfer back through to Salt Lake, and then you do the overnight train through to San Francisco. For that segment between Salt Lake and San Francisco, I must say, when I did this trip, I really enjoyed waking up early. I was there at in the sunrise to see the sunrise in the Nevada desert. That was kind of neat from the observation car. So definitely get up early to witness that. And then you're crossing through Nevada. You're getting through to Northern California. It gets really scenic once you hit like just north of Lake Tahoe there, Truckee, California. You're going through Sierra Nevadas. You're going through nice Donner's Pass, nice mountain landscapes there. And in the afternoon, you'd be arriving just on the other side of the bay from San Francisco with a quick transfer down to downtown San Francisco, and you're right in Fisherman's Wharf. Now in Fisherman's Wharf, you'll do the same day trip that I mentioned before to Yosemite, and then that scenic train route down the coast all the way through to Los Angeles. When you get to Los Angeles, because you're going to arrive late at night and the train's already gone going to Arizona, you have to do one night in LA. It kind of gives you like a little 24-hour window there to go and explore. Do maybe one of the hop on, hop off buses with Starline. So that's an option in LA. And then you continue on to the Grand Canyon, have the experience at the Grand Canyon with the rail back through to Chicago. This package says out of Chicago, but we could originate this package from any one of the Amtrak's stations throughout the U.S. There's over 500 different stations. We just have Chicago there because it's the main hub. We could go to the drawing board and piece this together from wherever you're at. We just want to consider maybe, if you're coming from the West Coast, maybe starting it in San Francisco or Los Angeles, you just let us know what you're thinking, and we can go to the drawing board and try to piece it all together. But yeah, why not consider 3 national parks in one swoop? Let's raise the antes even more. This trip I love. It's a newer one, the Grand National Parks of the Southwest. I'm actually going to be doing this year. It's the trip that I've chosen, and I can't wait. Do 5 national parks, one trip. My favorite train ride, the Zephyr, Denver through to Grand Junction. Gonna be glued to the window looking at all that scenery. By the time you get to Grand Junction, Colorado, you're gonna see the tumbleweed blowing through along the train lines there. You do 2 nights at a hotel in Grand Junction, which is, still technically Colorado. All these national parks that we're going to be visiting on this trip, which is Zion, Bryce, Capitol Reef, Arches, and Canyonland, they're all in southern Utah. Southern Utah is like teeming with national parks there. And we're using the Grand Junction as a hub for 2 nights. You're going to have a full day trip to see Arches and Canyonland National Park, 2 national parks on the first day, and then transitioning through to Springdale, Utah for 2 nights, which Springdale, Utah is right outside of Zion. You'll see some the mountains of Zion from the rock formations. So you get a chance to see Zion National Park on one of the days. And this is all with, not by train, but with a local guide. You're going to be in like luxurious air-conditioned SUV vehicles, small groups, 6 people, no more. We're not talking busloads of people for this trip. So it's a really intimate, luxurious feel that it has. And yeah, a lot more intimate, I would say, because of the group sizes being a lot smaller. So they'll pick you up from your hotel in Grand Junction and take you to do the full day trip to Arches and Canyonland. They'll take you all the way through to Springdale. And then on the last day, you'll get to do Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef. So yeah, a lot of rock formations here to see, spires or hoodoos as they're called, like these rock formations and beehives. Awesome experience. I can't wait to do this one. And just a really scenic train ride. So 5 national parks on one trip. That's 6 nights, 7 days long. And there's other places that you could choose to stop along the way. I mean, right not too far, there's Glenwood Springs. That's nice to go see the hot springs there too. Denver is always a fun city. Why not consider going to Denver? So, this trip offers Arches National Park, Zion. Here are the hoodoo formations, the beehive formations that I was talking about at Bryce. Can't wait to see those. Sunset, sunrise, any time of the day. I know I'll have my camera out snapping away. So this is our Grand National Parks of the Southwest. 5 amazing national parks in a 7-day long trip. Can't wait to do it. All right, let's take a look at another new one. Now this is like, we want national parks. Well, this is national parks galore. We have the 5 that we were talking about before. We've added the Rocky Mountain National Park out of Denver, Yellowstone, and Yosemite. So there's 8 national parks in one trip for you. So this trip, the base package starts with checking in at the hotel for 2 nights in Denver, Colorado. But we could originate the where from wherever you choose, whether it be like Winter Park, Florida, New York. You let us know, we'll customize the rail for you. We can compare what it is flying to a different departure city or coming from where you are in the US. Anywhere where there's an Amtrak station, we could customize the trip to originate from. That's not a problem. All right, so 2 nights in Denver with a full day trip with a local tour guide. This time it's going to be a bigger motor coach vehicle, not as small as the ones that you'll be when you go to the ones in southern Utah there. So this is like a motor coach vehicle with a guide and a full day trip to the Rocky Mountain National Park, which is like a little over an hour away from Denver, Colorado. A really nice scenic drive up there. And Denver, what a fun city to hang out. And the train station's right in the heart of the city. Once again, you don't have far to go. A really scenic train ride tying these stops along the way. Yellowstone included here, and the trip all the way through to San Francisco. So we're talking, 8 national park, a really scenic train ride, the Zephyr. If you're just starting out, I would say the Zephyr would be top of the list of ones to explore, in my opinion, because you just can't go wrong with that train ride. And this, folks, is like, just under like a 2-week long trip. 2-week long trip, see 8 nice national parks, really scenic train route. It's quite a deal. It's proven itself to be very popular of late since we launched it. Now, popular destinations, as I said, we specialize in 3 different types of trips, national park trips, city getaways by rail, and also what we call rail experiences. Rail experiences are really defined by spending the majority of the time on the train, doing those more scenic train routes. There are going to be times at hotels along the way, but it's most of the time on the train. That's a rail experience. Now, why not consider a stop in any one of these cities? New Orleans, San Francisco, New York City, Washington, D.C. is very popular destinations. Really easy to customize a little getaway for a couple nights for you while you're, traversing the country. Why not consider stopping at any one of these places? And there's many more. On our website, we have over 400 different packages there. You just let us know what you're thinking, and we can definitely look at putting it all together for you. So onboard accommodations. All righty. So onboard accommodations, let's review these. Bottom left-hand side, that's the observation car. So that's a really cool area, social area. Everybody gets a turn in the observation car to hang out and check in the views, mingle with people. And it has those large enhanced windows just to take the views on either side of the train. Right above that, that's a picture of a Superliner roomette. So nice, cozy little private compartment during the daytime, and at night they can make an upper and a lower bunk for you. Full frame picture window. There's two seats set right in front of each other. A really nice sleeper option, private compartment option, and the meals included, of course, when you do those sleepers, roomettes or bedrooms. The bedroom picture is on the bottom right-hand side, where Mr.'s looking at the pictures that he's snapping while he's going through those scenic countrysides. So it has a bigger bench, bigger compartment, restroom and shower. That's the bedroom on the Superliner trains. So this is what we're looking at on the different levels. So the social areas, let's just recap that. Observation car is a social area. That's on the upper level. The lower level, there's a cafe car, and there's the restaurant car. And those who are in the sleepers will get first choice as to a time to have their meals. Now, coach accommodation is not uncomfortable. This is, what you're looking at in coach. You get the full frame picture windows. The seats recline ample. There's ample leg room. It's not like on an airplane where they put you in the cattle car there. I mean, I'm 6'1". If I try to spread my legs in front of me, I'm not touching that seat in front of me. So there's ample leg room. You got room to roam on the train. Go to those social areas, the observation car, cafe car. You can go to the restaurant, but meals would be out of pocket, or you just bring your own food. So it's not uncomfortable, and a very social experience. You get to mingle with other people and coach there too. All right, so the sleeper option, the roomettes here. Roomettes, as I said, very cozy. Two seats set right in front of each other. They'll make the upper and lower bunk as they have in the little diagram there on the bottom left-hand side. Now, if there's people traveling together, we can try to get them roomettes across from the hall from one another, availability permitting, or side by side, or book far out ahead of time, so we can accommodate those type of needs, because things do fill up, especially during those summer months, the prime time. But roomettes is definitely a nice, viable option with those meals included. So it includes 2 comfy seats, 2 beds, outlet, full down table. And this is the bedroom. So bedroom is bigger. Bedroom, the beds are facing towards the window, or your head's facing towards the window, not towards your side. And you get the restroom and shower within the private compartment and not down the hall. So this is what you're looking at with the sleeper bedrooms. All right. Now, yeah, there is something to point out here. Now, there are 2 other types of sleepers on the lower level of these Superliner trains. There's a handicap accessible bedroom, one in a sleeping car, and there's also a family bedroom. The family bedroom fits 2 adults and 2 children, 12 and under. So to get those as an option, book out far out ahead of time, because you're just looking at 1 per sleeping car. With the bedrooms, there's 5, and the roomettes, there's like 14. Exceptions can be made for the bedrooms, the higher price sleeper, the bigger one that has the restroom and shower within it, for a child to be in that bedroom with you. Call one of our expert travel agents and they can price it out that way for you and ask for that exception to be made. But really you want to aim for the family bedroom, especially when there's more than 1 kids. So that's just something I wanted to point out that's specific to the bedroom accommodations on board these Superliner trains. Now, dining on the train with Amtrak. So they have like a whole chef-inspired menu. There's a dining card. This is what it looks like. You can pay out of pocket for the meals if you're in coach, or it's included when you do the sleepers. We're talking like surf and turf, steak dinners. I'm particularly partial to the caramel parfaits they have for desserts there. really good food and dining as you watch the scenery all go by there. So that definitely adds to the experience to have some nice food to eat while you travel. Now, how can I look more into all this information? Well, yeah, we can send you a catalog. The catalog's great, but there's a lot more information on the website. The website, there's over 400 different packages. In the catalog, we just have our best sellers. But by all means, call us and we can send you a catalog, or go explore, venture on our website, really play around with some of the tabs. Um, on the top left-hand side, under Amtrak Vacations logo, there's destinations and vacation types. Go explore in those tabs. If you want to look at destination-specific trips, use destinations. But what I like about vacation types, there's the rail experiences and the cross-country trips, for the most part, indicated right there. Play around there, and if you don't see exactly what you're looking for, that's when you give us a call, and one of our expert travel consultants can try to piece it all together for you. We just have to take in consideration the logistics of it all, the time schedules, the frequencies of the trains, availability for the sleepers, and at these hard to get lodges by the national parks. Yeah, so don't hesitate to give us a call. We have a whole team of us here that like to discuss train travel and piece together trips of a lifetime for you, your bucket list experience. Now, and explore more on the very far right there, like, we got destinations, vacation type, trip planning. Trip planning, there is a lot of answers to questions that you probably have on your mind regarding baggage allowance, meals, Wi-Fi, passport, identification. All that information is there. And if you don't see, if you have more questions, give us a call. We're more than happy to help. How to book? Well, how to book? Well, give us a call, 1-800-268-7252. We have that flash sale going on right now, saving you a lot of money off of the sleepers on rail vacation packages. Give us a call. We're happy to assist. Visit our website to get inspired, get some food for thought as to what can be done, what you want to do, what you value more, or go also to any travel agents. We work with them all throughout the U.S., and they can assist you in putting together, liaising with us and putting together a trip of a lifetime for you. So this is, the three ways. Give us a call, website, or go to a travel agency. And any one of those options would work with Amtrak Vacations. Now, a couple information about discounts with Amtrak. So, children under 2 don't pay. 2 to 12, children receive 50% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak Vacations. Seniors, if you're 65 and over, in the U.S., you receive 10% discount off the rail portion of an Amtrak vacation package. In Canada, it's 60 years old, so a little bit less in Canada for the senior rate. And there's obviously a military discount to thanks all those service people in the military. There's a discount for them. Let's not forget them, especially after the weekend there. And yeah, flash sale. So this flash sale has been going on for 10 days now. They don't usually go on this long, so it's not going to be running for much longer. But yeah, plenty of savings to be had off of those sleepers. So don't hesitate to give us a call so that we can price it out for you and let you know how it all looks. All right. So what rail vacation destinations are you interested in, and when are you thinking of going? Plug away, let us know, and we can kind of tailor the marketing to those destinations for you and help you get inspired. And we'll definitely get some of our agents to reach out with an email or a call to let you know that we're here to assist you if you need so. But yeah, do let us know what rail vacation, what type of destination, whether it's a city getaway, national park trip, rail experience, what destinations, what grounds you want to cover here in the U.S. We're really blessed to have a lot of places of geological natural wonder to explore. Why not tie it on one huge trip of a lifetime by train? All right, so thank you for joining us. Don't hesitate to give us a call, 1-800-268-7252. Anyone here can help you. Before we go, I just wanted to take some time here to answer some of your questions. Let's take a look here. All right, so let's see. All right, I thought you were going to talk about Zion and Bryce specifically. So yeah, the packages to Bryce and Zion, we're going to have you in a small group, SUV luxury vehicles going to these national parks. The two hubs are going to be Grand Junction and Springdale, Utah. You're going to get picked up by a local guide at your hotel, and he's going to bring you individually to each one of these national parks. Arches and Canyonland are going to be on the first day. Zion will be on the second, and the third day it's going to be Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef, all in a small group. Now, the local tour operator that we use also has Printer vans to cater for like bigger families. So that's what we're looking at for Zion and Bryce. It's a new package that we started maybe just over 6 months ago, and it's already a very popular option. And there's so many of those national parks right in southern Utah. It's nice to tie them all together in one trip and to be with a small group with a guide while you're exploring those. So thank you for your question there. Now, are all the beds single or are they double beds for couples? Now, with Amtrak in North America, yeah, they're all single type of beds. The lower bunk is a bit bigger, but I mean, it could fit an adult and a child. But for most part, yeah, it's all upper and lower bunks. In Canada, with Via Rail, there is an option, which is top of the line prestige cabin. That would offer to people being able to sleep with one another. Definitely call in and ask about the prestige cabin if you want to go down that road. But yeah, cross country Canada with the prestige cabin is 4 nights, 5 days. But that's the only option in North America where you could be sleeping side by side on a train. Everything else is upper and lower bunks. Um, so thank you, Louise, for your question there. How does it work if it is only one person? So yeah, you can travel solo. We're very popular with single travelers. I mean, when we present our pricing in the marketing, we do it based on double occupancy. But when you're traveling solo, yeah, you get your room to yourself, you get your private sleeper to yourself. You're still paying for the whole room. It's just you can't split the cost in two. So the price is less than if you're traveling by two because you're not splitting the cost in half. So we do cater and are extremely popular with single travelers. And as I described before, it's a really social experience to travel by train because you get to mingle with people and make interesting conversations and sometimes even friends for life. You know, find a travel companion while you're doing one of these trips. So thank you, Marianne, for that question right there. Now let's take a look. On the vacation package, how are the tickets transferred handled? Is there a card loaded with all the transfers? So yeah, there's e-tickets. So it's like all electronic tickets. You know, if you have like a smartphone or a tablet, you just show them the email, the barcode, they'll scan it, and then that's your admission onto the train. There'll be different tickets for different segments. You can all have them loaded electronically, and they'll scan them as you travel. So thank you, Dee, there for that question. Will you be able to get out on those small group trips to hike? Well, if you added more time at certain locations, you could easily do a car rental and drive at your leisure, do some hikings independently. There's got to be a lot of awesome hikes to do, but depending, you know, those places where you could do that, you would have to discuss with an expert travel agent. It's not going to be everywhere. Like I'm thinking, for instance, maybe not out in Springdale, Utah, because you're transitioning there with a local guide, but there's parts where we could definitely add more times for you to do your independent hiking if you choose to do so. But definitely give us a call and we can go over that with you. Will you be able to get out on those small group trips to hiking? Okay, we already answered that one. Thank you, Joyce. Are the entree salad desserts included at no charge with the dining package with Roomette's reservation? So yeah, no matter this, if you're doing Roomette or bedroom, folks, meals are included part of the train ride. And all these trains that we discussed today, the California Zephyr, Coast Starlight, and Southwest Chief, there's roomettes and bedrooms, and meals would be included part of the train rides when you do those the sleepers. Now I need to leave. So we kind of covered a lot of these questions. Let me still screw through. With the roomettes, are the showers and toilet public, and are you assigned specific times to shower use? No, there's no specific time to shower use. You use it as you are on. I mean, taking a shower on the train is definitely not the highlight of the trip. Sometimes people just wait to get to their destination, take it out of the hotel. I've taken the shower before, never had a problem to access a shower when I was in a roomette. You're looking, depending on the train, the sleeper car, there can be, 1 for 4 roomettes for the showers and the restrooms. There's never a problem getting it. And there's other places to roam on the train where they'll have restrooms too. Also, the insurance, is it just while being on the train, or does it include everything we do? So yeah, with our rail vacation packages, we provide trip protection, which is coverage for a number of things. There's the two main pieces to it is cancellation for any reason all the way up until the day that you depart, and also covers you for like a whole list of incidentals once you're on the trip. That would cover you for your duration of the trip when you're with Amtrak Vacations. We can discuss that further with you at time of booking. But that's definitely something that we do. It's the responsible thing to do. You want to protect yourself and your investment in the trip. Now let's see here. All right, joining late. Let me see here. We have a late arrival here. All right, joining but late, but how much for 3 people? So for 3 people, it really depends on the destination and the ages. So let us know where you're traveling to and from. Call us, and we can give you an option for 3. I mean, there's no sleeping compartment that would fit 3 people aside from the family bedroom, but you would have to be 2 kids under 12. And if we're making exception for the bedroom, it would have to be a 12-year-old, 12 or under. So might need to double up on the sleepers if it's 3 adults. But give us a call and we can go over those options with you. Now, can I see any photos, or is this a popular and only audio webinar? Well, we have many of these webinars that keep on creeping up. Definitely sign up. You can sign up through our website, and we cover a lot of different themes, and there's a lot of different people here presenting those. So sign up and attend more of the webinars, or just give us a call. Give us a call and we can let you know what's possible. Now, I hope, I want to thank you all for all the questions here. I hope you found it informative. And now it's time to, let's see, pick one winner here. All right, and we'll be emailing out to you a chance for some further savings there. Now, thank you all for attending. I hope you found it informative, and don't postpone it. Give us a call, and let's try to put together a great, awesome experience traveling in North America with Amtrak Vacations. So thank you so much, and look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.